Okay, let's dive into this. We have smart homes that know when we're coming and going, but what about a smart wilderness? Think about it. These huge, vital, wild parts of our planet, they're essentially flying blind, totally unmonitored. Today, we're going to look at a technology that's trying to change all that by literally building a nervous system for the wild. So to really wrap your head around what we're talking about, just imagine this for a second. What if you could take all the smarts of something like a Google Nest camera, its ability to see what's happening and alert you, and just drop it anywhere on the planet? No power grid, no cell service, no problem. And look, this isn't some pie-in-the-sky tech fantasy. It's actually being born from a very real, very high-stakes conflict. Right up in Park County, Montana, just north of Yellowstone, you've got this massive $500 million wildlife tourism economy. But the stars of the show, the grizzly bears, are often clashing with ranchers who've been there for generations. So having better monitoring here, well, it's not a luxury. It's absolutely essential for them to coexist. Okay. So if the need is so obvious, you might be wondering, why can't we just stick a bunch of cameras out there and call it a day? Well, it turns out the tools we've been using, these traditional camera traps, they're just fundamentally broken for these kinds of remote places. They create this huge problem of way, way too many pixels and not nearly enough actual information. And this chart, wow, it just lays the problem bare. With the old-school camera traps, a staggering 65% of the alerts are just noise. It's wind, it's rain, it's a branch swaying, and on top of that, they completely miss about 22% of the important stuff. So what you're left with is this flood of useless data, and you're still completely blind to what's really happening. And the cost of this failure? Oh, it's immense. We're talking more than 60 hours of somebody's time wasted every few months just to keep one of these sites running. That adds up to about 15 grand a year per site, just down the drain. And pretty soon people get what's called alert fatigue. They just start ignoring the notifications altogether. And trying to beam all those worthless pictures up to a satellite? It's just wildly, wildly expensive. But here it is. This is the fundamental challenge, the real kicker behind all of this. A massive 94% of our planet is off-grid. These are the exact places we need to monitor the most, but they're basically technological dark zones. There's no power, no connectivity, none of the stuff that standard tech relies on. So, if the old tools are broken, you need a new one, right? And we're not talking about just building a slightly better camera trap. This is about creating an entirely new category of sensor, a whole new way of giving the environment smarter eyes and ears. And they're calling that new category AIMS, which stands for Autonomous Intelligence Monitoring System. The first system to really nail this is called GrizzCam. And here's the key. It's designed to be smart and totally self-sufficient. It uses AI right there at the source, what they call on the edge, to figure out what's important before it even thinks about sending a signal. It's like having a super smart bouncer at the door who only lets the VIP information through instead of letting a whole crowd in and trying to sort them out later. So how does it actually do it? Well, the whole process is really elegant and simple. First, it senses. It's taking in everything, 360-degree sight, multi-directional audio, environmental data. Then, and this is the magic part, it analyzes all that data right on the device. That AI bouncer immediately throws out all the noise. And finally, step 3, it alerts. It sends only the verified critical stuff that you actually need to see. Now, remember that first chart we saw? The one that was mostly red with all the failures? Okay, now look at this. It's a complete 180, a total reversal. With GrizzCam, those false detections plummet to just 5%, and the accurate ones, they soar to 95%. This isn't just an improvement, it's a complete game changer in terms of reliability. And if you thought that was cool, it gets even better. This system goes way beyond just seeing and hearing. It actually has gas sensors that can effectively smell the environment. I mean, it can detect things like smoke from a wildfire, exhaust fumes from a vehicle where it shouldn't be, or even the scent of decay from an animal carcass. So when you have a sensor that can see, hear, and even smell, well, it means the technology isn't just for one thing. It can serve two really critical missions at the same time, completely reimagining what's possible for both conservation and security. Just look at this. On the conservation side, you can automatically count wildlife or, say, detect a poacher's gunshot. But that exact same gunshot detection is a security feature for monitoring a remote border. Verifying wildlife helps a landowner get paid for conservation efforts, and at the same time, it's protecting their property from trespassers. It's one piece of tech, one system, solving two huge problems. And hey, don't just take my word for it. Listen to Dr. Dan Stoller, who runs the Yellowstone Wolf Project. He said, We deployed 200 plus existing systems and still had no idea what we were missing. GrizzCam captured what others couldn't: acoustic events, off-angle movement, and true behavioral context. That is a massive endorsement. This new level of accuracy makes all sorts of innovative programs possible, like this thing called payment for presence. The idea is simple: reward ranchers for providing habitat for animals. But trying to prove the animals were there has always been super labor-intensive and expensive. GrizzCam automates all of that, which suddenly makes the whole program actually work financially. It's about aligning the economics for ranchers with the needs of wildlife. And why does all this matter so much? Well, as Arthur Middleton from UC Berkeley puts it, these animals rely on ancient migration routes. He says if these migration routes are going to persist, then protecting the pathways where they happen is essential. This technology finally gives us the eyes and ears we need to actually do that protection effectively. So you can see, the vision here is so much bigger than just a smarter camera. It's about building something truly foundational, something that acts like the planet's own nervous system. And the company has this incredibly bold 10-year plan. It's like a 3-act play. First, they establish this whole new AIMS category, basically rewrite the rules. Then they go for dominance, getting 50,000 of these units out there as the new global standard. And the grand finale? They become the go-to data layer for monitoring the entire planet. Really, the founder, Jeff Reed, just sums it up perfectly. He says, we're not just building smarter camera traps, we're building the nervous system for Earth's most valuable places. I mean, what a powerful way to think about it. A system that can sense, analyze, and react to protect our planet. And that really leaves us with this one big, profound question to think about. If we suddenly have this power, this ability to truly see and hear and even smell the wildest corners of our world in real time, the challenge isn't about detection anymore. It's about a decision. What do we choose to protect first?